Tony Cole is an active member of the World Economic Forum's Global Advisory Council for Energy. He was also appointed to the United Nations Sustainable Development Fund, a private sector advisory group. He holds several key board positions such as Chairman Greater Port Harcourt Development Authority, Bloomberg TV Africa, Nigeria's Shippers Council, and amongst so many others. Tony Cole is a renowned youth advocate, a motivational speaker, an ordained minister, entrepreneur, and firm believer in Africa's inherent greatness. He has traveled vastly, delivering numerous papers to the continent's youth. He is a regular columnist of This Day Style and the author of Morning Reflections, an inspirational devotional. An alumnus of the Harvard Business School's Advanced Management Program, he is married to Dr. Sylvia Cole, with whom they have 3 children. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers at home, please join me in welcome to the platform, Tony Cole.
Thank you. Yep, you can. So all of that was just to make an entrance, so don't worry. Okay, as we often say sometimes in Nigeria that my enemies tried to stop me from coming. They did everything possible, but I have to thank a particular doctor called Dr. Balogun, who is watching today, and because he was watching platform, he signed and allowed me to travel so that I can come and deliver and then head straight back to go and continue on the medication. But look, Pastor Poju, Madam, thank you very much. It's always an honor and a great honor to speak at the platform. Over the years, the platform has been one of those programs that has totally captivated and changed the way that I view things, the way I take my journey. This journey that I have been on, and this journey that I welcome you to come onto as well. Today of all, we have great speakers. You have your Vice President-elect who is coming in. You have another great speaker who I respect greatly, Ibukun Awoshika, who will be here as well. I'll be from all of these people. But for me, I'm delivering a paper called Take Back Your Name. Take Back Your Name. We're in easily one of the most excitable periods of our nation's history. To those who are spiritually discerning, one of the things that you're sure about is that what we witnessed in the elections was short of miraculous. Prior to the announcement on the 31st of March 2015, we had been written off as a nation. Everything negative that could have been said about Nigeria was said. It was believed generally that we were going to burn, that we were going to be totally useless, that nothing good will come out of what we had. Every news media that I watched had only negative things to say about us prior to that day. You see, that is nothing new. Last year, when I was taking this executive course in Harvard, there were only 2 Nigerians amongst the 150 plus students from over 40 countries. We did our best to portray Nigeria in the best of light, which is what I often do. But there was a particular course on micro and macro economics. A world-leading professor goes all over the world and he looks at countries, what makes them great, their micro and macro economic reasons for the greatness of nations. It was a course I enjoyed tremendously. We studied Singapore, India, China, Mexico, Dubai, Brazil, the United States. When it came to Africa, we touched all continents, Australia as well. When it came to Africa, the country that was selected in Africa to speak about was South Africa. Now, nothing wrong with South Africa, but I felt, sitting down in that room, that we were being done a grave injustice as a country, because if any country really in Africa should be talked about, it should be Nigeria. And so I went up to the professor and said, "You're missing a big opportunity. Why are you not discussing Nigeria?" At first he was reluctant to take on why I was asking, but I kept insisting that you have a vibrant economy, you have a vibrant people, you have all sorts of things from politics. This is a country you need to talk about. And when I pressed him, he then said, "Look, Harvard has a case study on Nigeria already. It's a study that they teach the MBA students, and it's not a good study. It's a study that has and tells about everything wrong that a great country can be. It focuses on corruption, misuse of public resources, abuse of office, disrespect of the rule of law, plundering of natural resources. And this is a main course in the MBA class." I was disheartened, because immediately it told me one thing. The message that sent was simply this: in one of the best universities where you have the brightest in the world all coming in to do an MBA from all over the world, people who would lead in government, people who will lead in the corporate institutions, people who will go and reach the pinnacle of every institution that you have in the world, what they know about Nigeria are the negatives. And it's no wonder that many years later, everywhere you go as businesses, as entrepreneurs, when you run into people who have gone through courses like that, the first thing that they see about you is what they have learned in this period. While I was still reeling through that news, then came the terrible news of the abduction of the Chibok girls. Now you can imagine how focus was on us as Nigerians. Every news channel, from the local news channels in America, who normally do not even know where Nigeria is, all of a sudden at this point, local, international, everything focused on Nigeria. And every day, all we heard, day in and day out, was the most disheartening news about ineptitude, weakness of government. There's nothing they did not say about our military, about our nation, and about our president. It was a tough time to be a Nigerian in a global village. It was a very tough time to be a Nigerian in Harvard Business School. The news was relentless, and there was nothing I could say at that point to change the image, because that's all we heard. At that point, every negative report that came portrayed Boko Haram as being far superior, better armed, more intelligent, more determined, more focused than you and I, than everybody else that was called Nigeria. I was still trying to get over all of this. Then Ebola was coming. The news at the time as well, coming in, just before I went, I had to do a screening. I said, "I'm in Nigeria. Ebola is far away." No. It's one and the same. And the fear then was that once Ebola came to Nigeria, we were all gone. We were all dead. While that was still going on, then Lamido Sanusi, CBN governor, released 20 billion missing government, and that was it. Every vestige of hope was gone. Now, it's in this background, this thinking, within this sphere, that my mind constantly challenges my person, that there must be something that as individuals we can and must do if we're going to change the way people think and see us as a nation, as an individual. It's impossible to just stand and take the rhetoric and just say it does not matter. Brothers and sisters, it matters.